Hello, my lovelies. How are you? I am having a decent morning. I've got pigeons for company. They have a habit of swarming on my neighbours over the back fence. They've got a little pergola in their backyard and they love sitting on that. But at the moment, I've got one sitting on my fence just looking at me sideways. You know what they do. Anyway, enough of my waffling. I have had a little request to have a close-up look at my little shoe, my pincushion. So here you are, Freya, here it is. It is just a simple little ornament that I picked up from a second-hand shop. It was minus a couple of little beads, one here. Oh no, that one's there. But there's one under this little flower that's missing. This one's fallen off somewhere on my desk and I don't know where it is. Over years it's just sort of disappeared, but I decided to put a couple of stick pins into it and a lot of dressmaking pins where I've finished lace spools. I've taken the pins out and put them into here. A little lace pin is a gold one, and this little stick pin here. And all I did, because I'd run out of hobby fill, I used a piece of lace and I wrapped some thread around it just to make it fit into the shoe. So it's a pretty little thing, and I had at the stage I had a thing about making pin cushions. I made several, but this one is so convenient. It's a lovely size just to sit on my desk and be a recipient for my pins when I finished using them. And this stick pin, I believe, was sent to me by somebody. It's really quite lovely. Makes a great pokey tool, as does this other taller one. This is one that I did make. It's very simple. I didn't want anything big at that particular time. I had a thing about making these as well. I've still got a lot of pins that I could use. That might be something I can do with you one day, is make stick pins. And this little one, it's a quilting pin, but it's great for unclogging glue bottles. And yes, I made little patterns and put them in sideways and long ways and back to front and all that sort of stuff, just to make it look pretty. It's very easy. You can get a little vase, you know, get one from a second handy and fill it with some hobby fill, put a little piece of pretty lace over the top, and you have yourself a lovely little pin holder. Whoops, I'm glad that didn't stick into me. That one did though. That's what happens when you use your hands as a pivot place, isn't it? And we'll stick this little one in there. And the others can sit up like a little hedgehog. Just pop them in wherever. But for the price of a few penny or a few cents and, you know, a little bit of leftover lace or hobby fill, whatever you have available, you too can have something just as pretty as this. Go to your second-hand shops, as I said before. Look for little vases or cups and saucers and turn them into something pretty. Excuse me. So I've done nothing to adorn this apart from put a rose on, and I did put that one back in there, but I don't know what happened to that one. Maybe I put that one back in and it fell out too. It's a possibility. But there you are, my dear. There is my little shoe. And it sits on my, normally it sits on my lamp base, but sometimes, as you've seen in the video, it's down there. It could be anywhere. It depends upon what my mood is on the day. But now, having done that for you, I would like to show you what I've been doing the last few hours. I have been making library cards. My daughter has a very extensive, my daughter Dawn, ex libris Dawnber. She has an extensive collection of books, and she's been at me for yonks to make her some library cards because I borrow her books, and it's always nice to know where your books are if you're going to lend them to somebody. So what I'm going to do, if I've already stamped the lines on front and back, I will put the name of the book here, the day I return the book, and my name there. So actually, no, I'll put my name there and she can put the date of return in there when she gets it back. And these are very simple to make. It is 7.5 inches of cardstock or manila folder if you have them. I've folded it up so that I've still got a fairly large amount of area there that I can see the title of the book, or Dawn can see the title of the book. And because she loves coffee and I have a fair amount of coffee stickers, I'm going to be putting them on the front just as a little decoration. I cut down the back piece about maybe, let's see, about 1 centimetre, which is just under 1/2 inch, and then fold it over. And I had to add additional pieces here because I cut a little bit short. So fold that over, and that gives you a nice, neat, tidy little folder. Nothing is going to catch on that because you've got a fold here, and then you've got the folds on the side as well going around. So these are 4 that I have completed so far. Okay, and I've used my hole punch to put a little notch there. So those are 4 that I have completed, and I thought I'd do a couple with you. I've already got them partially constructed. These are my little cards to go inside. So I've already glued the cards, the little flaps in there. Put the notch in all of these. I set up a little production line that's gone over the edge, so I've got to trim that off. It looks a little tidy. You're not going to really notice that because it's going to be sitting flush in the back of the book. And I've got one of my little books here. And just to show you that on the back, very back page, this is where they're going to sit. Like that. So if she's got a boxed set, they're not going to go back into the box because I'm putting extra paper in here. And every time you read a book, if you just even open the spine, it's going to distort it just a little. But let's get one of these finished ones. I'm not going to stick these in here because this is my destroy book. So that's what it's going to look like in the back of Dawn's books. So I've already sent her a photograph of them, so I don't have to worry about her possibly seeing them when she shouldn't do, because she's going to get them anyway. But okay, so having done all this bit so far, what I've got to do next is the stamping and the writing of the actual cards that are going to go in here. So, okay, this is what we're going to do. I have made, and I don't need the glue board. I've made a half A4 lined page stamp. That's my cover sheet. Oh, excuse me. All I do to make this type of stamp is remove one piece of the cardboard. Now, I think I've got a little piece of cardboard here. Where? Excuse me rattling around. I've got to open a bag of rubbish and pull one out. Will come out. Okay, let's just put this to one side for a moment while I show you how I make one of these. Now, where's my pokey tool? I know you're in here somewhere, my little friend. Where are you? Oh, you were in there. What did I do with it? Oh, no. Oh, double no. This is not right. What on earth did I do with it? This is crazy. I normally have this thing so near me. Well, I'll have to use something else. I'll use my letter opener. It's got a bit of a point on it. That might do. I don't believe it. I've hidden that. Gosh. Okay. Anyway, to get on with the story, you can see under here, I hope, that you've got little ridges, and those are the corrugations. Now, if you stick your pokey tool or something equally as sharp underneath, you can start to lift that top layer of board, over that cardboard away. Just be careful not to press too hard because you'll be ruining your lines underneath. Once you've got it so far, you can... No, this one isn't going to peel nicely. This is going to be a wreck. Let's see. Sometimes it can be the right or the wrong side that you're lifting up that it'll... Sometimes these peel so easy and other times they don't. This one feels better. Don't know if I'll be right or wrong. No, I'm wrong. Either way. This one is actually coming up better. It does take a few minutes to get an entire sheet workable. I'm just showing you the principle behind this. Okay, just another inch of paper is all I need to take off to show you. And the cleaner you can get it, the cleaner your lines will be. Okay, you've got this, and it's all lovely and clear and clean, and you can't see any leftovers, can you? No, of course you can't. Okay, so from that to inking. Saturate the whole thing with ink first and let it sit for a minute. So let the ink soak into the cardboard. Now the cardboard is very porous. It will soak in very quickly. And it stays damp for ages. So we'll just leave that sit for a minute while I get my book out again. Okay, now just to make sure I've got a reasonable amount of coverage, it doesn't always show up every single part of the line. It gets a bit, not fuzzy, but it gets unclear. But that is the beauty of making something yourself. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now my lines are going to go this way, and you literally just treat it like a stamp. Put it over. On my big one that I've got over there that I'm going to use now, I've got a little masking tape handle. And I'll show you that too. Okay, it's had a little bit of time to sink into the page, and there you go. Yes, they're a little thicker than usual, but it's for a handmade journal, handmade cards. It doesn't need to be 100% perfect. It can be a little bit off. Now there's a lot of ink gone onto that page and it's still wet. So I'm going to pop this into, oh, it took a fair amount of ink off there to transfer onto that. That's awesome. I'm going to keep this little piece because I need a smaller one. And I will clean it up off camera. So let's just close that. I don't need that book again. Okay, on the back, as I said, I've got a little handle. It's a strip of masking tape that I've folded the centerpiece over and then put the rest of it down there, and you can just lift it off the page straight up if you need to. Okay, so let's get into these return cards. I'll just do a couple with you because I don't think you need to see me do all 24 of them. Now I'm going to be starting at 4 ridges down, which will give me, actually it'll be 3 ridges down because that'll give me that reasonable amount of turn up there. Turn up? Blank spot, Ruth. Get your facts right, girl. Okay, 1, 2, 3, start on the 4th and start to ink. And all I do with this one, because it's so well seasoned, is just wipe the pad across, making sure I get them evenly in a row. And that amount of ink will get me front and back. So going up to the first row, put that down. I should have my little brayer out. I've only just thought of using that. Okay, so that is side 1 and side 2. It doesn't matter where I start because the whole thing is going to be done. And yes, my brayer would be infinitely better than using my hands at the moment, because I forgot the process of putting it aside for a minute, didn't I? I don't want to smudge the rows. That's why I'm doing this with my Perky tool. Okay, let's see how well it's done. Not very well, and that's because it was just sort of sitting there and not being done properly. All right, so let's do this one properly. You'd be amazed at the end of a session like this how much ink you've still got left on this particular stamp. The top of the third, not the top of the third, the top 3 will be blank. Let's leave that over that side so I can show you what I'm going to do with it. Okay, so where am I not getting ink? I'm not getting ink down this part. So I need to be aware and move my stamp over, or my paper over. I'm just going to leave that there to sit and dry for a minute while I do another one. To be on the safe side, let's apply more ink. If you wanted to get a little bit fussy and fancy, you could always draw a black line down there to line your page up if you wanted. If you're doing something small like this, that is. Okay, I definitely have enough ink on there to sink a battleship. A small battleship, not a huge one. let's see if I've made any difference to this now. It's all trial and error, folks. Much better. Still a little faint there, but I'm not unhappy about that. Okay, enough of this process, because I'm going to be sitting here for the next few hours doing more of these. This is production line work, ladies and gents. It really is. Okay, so let's just put this stamp aside for a minute. I'm going to turn it over that way so it stays a little bit moist. It also gets put away that way, so it's got something there to soak into. Now, the final part of this process is to rule a couple of lines. Now, I've got my graphic line marker. It's an 0.1. It's very fine. Now, I want to line that one there. And there. And then literally the width of the ruler is enough to put a date in there, and this will be the name. So, date of return and name of the reader. And that is almost done. Because we need to you might as well do the whole lot while you're here. Otherwise, you're going to be having to revisit this process all the time and redo it. So I will now go ahead and do all of the front pieces and dry them off. And then I will do the back and do all of the writing after that. So it's a process, but it's a very enjoyable process for me. I enjoy doing this type of thing. I enjoy just playing with paper. Let's be honest. Date of return and name of reader. And that can go into one of these. Oops. And I'm going to leave the top piece for Dawn to write in, because she owns all the books. I've got 3 of hers here at the moment that I've started to read. So I will be able to do 3 of them, but I will leave that, and I'll put some double-sided tape on the back so that she can just stick it into her books. But that's it for today, loves. I will leave you and catch up with you another time. Just put these down here, and I'll bring in my little shoe again. Just bring it up a wee bit and show you. Just a little bit closer. Close enough? Yep. But there you go. Thank you very, very much for watching. I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.